What is up, guys? Today I'm going to be bringing you my top 10 favorite animated TV shows of all time. Now, I just want to preface this video by saying that I love animated TV shows. I think they're a lot of fun. And sadly, I think most adults, even older kids, seem to write off animated TV as something that is strictly for young kids. It's babyish, it's boring, and that's what really inspired me to make this video, because that's not the case. There is so much in the world of animated TV, and I really think that it has a ton to offer, and I think these 10 shows will prove that. So without further ado, let's get into the list. Coming in at number 10, Samurai Jack. This is a show that flew off the radar for me for a long time. I started watching it and thought it was great. It has a very unique style of animation that is comparable to the Powerpuff Girls and Dexter's Laboratory. It's sharp, vibrant, and fast-paced. At first, the story isn't extremely engaging, but in a way that's good, as it makes it easy to watch one episode at a time and appreciate each individual episode for what it is. However, that being said, it does evolve into a story with deeper, darker themes, and gets progressively better, making it even more enjoyable for older kids and adults. I love how this show utilizes visual imagery to tell the story, when sometimes going decent lengths of time without any dialogue. The action sequences are also very well done. This show is especially good at utilizing split-screen effects and different color patterns to add depth to sequences of fast-paced action. Not to mention its pretty catchy theme song, and it's really just an all-around enjoyable show to watch, especially if you don't have time to binge watch and you want to just watch a few fun, action-packed episodes without getting too sucked into a TV series. Coming in at number 9, The Regular Show. This is a show that is definitely for kids, as it's aired on Cartoon Network. However, despite that, it's completely appropriate for younger audiences. The Regular Show features many hidden adult jokes and innuendos. This style of humor works with kids, but also adds a new level that makes it equally enjoyable for many adults. This show is very comparable to Adventure Time, especially regarding the aspects of unique characters and extremely bizarre, over-the-top scenarios. I was personally really into this show in middle school and early high school, but I would definitely love to come back to this in the future. Coming in at number 8, SpongeBob SquarePants. Everyone's favorite show about that guy who lives in a pineapple under the sea. No, literally everyone's favorite show. Almost everybody's familiar with SpongeBob, adults and kids alike. Most millennials can actually quote individual episodes and be understood by their peers. This shows how SpongeBob has gone from a TV show to a cultural phenomenon. The show itself is funny and lighthearted. The characters remain distinct and predictable while being thrown into zany, unrealistic situations. Even SpongeBob contains ambiguous jokes that are generally pretty innocent, but can definitely be taken into an adult context. Overall, this show reminds me of good memories, sitting on the couch, eating cereal, chilling. And it's universally recognizable and a lot of fun, and that's why I love it. Coming in at number 7, Rick and Morty. This is one of those shows that I've been meaning to get into for a long time, and I just started watching it, and it's definitely one of my favorite shows right now. Easily my favorite adult cartoon. This show's animation style feels very similar to Bob's Burgers or even The Regular Show, but the style of humor is more in line with that of Archer. Honestly though, what's the point of comparing it to other shows? It's completely unique. I don't want to spend too much time on this one, so I'll give you a brief one-sentence description. It's like Back to the Future stuck in an adult cartoon. If that's not enough to get you to want to watch it, I don't know what is. Coming in at number 6, Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. Now, I've been a huge fan of the Scooby-Doo franchise ever since I was a little kid. Not only did I really like the movies and books, but I was mostly into the TV shows. I love the 1960s original Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? And also the newer take on shows like What's New Scooby-Doo. There are so many Scooby-Doo shows that there's really too many to watch, and some of them are absolutely terrible. But Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated is amazing. This show really shows how you can reinvent a franchise. Now, being released on Cartoon Network, it's obviously a show for little kids. It's Scooby-Doo, it's lighthearted, it's fun, they find the bad guys, the mysteries aren't too complicated, or so you thought. Because in Scooby-Doo Mystery Inc., the plots are actually quite dark, the episodes are quite complex, the mysteries have a lot more to them than meets the eye, and combine that with an evolving storyline that most Scooby-Doo TV shows do not have. Usually they're self-contained episodes. This show has an evolving storyline, really getting you into the show, really sucking you into it. The show itself has a very distinct animation style that's very sharp, and for me it was very hard to get used to at first watching it, but once I got into it, I absolutely loved it and didn't think twice about it. This show is actually pretty dark. There's actually some pretty creepy monsters that are definitely going to scare little kids, so it kind of makes it even more fun for adults, as this is very evocative of the horror genre, and it actually pays tribute to films like Saw, which is absolutely insane. Films like Saw and Nightmare on Elm Street. So if you're a fan of horror movies and mystery combined, this is definitely a show for you. Coming in at number 5 is Archer. What can I really say about Archer? It is one of the best shows ever. It is so unique. It's so full of character and color and humor that I don't even know where to begin with this incredibly amazing show. Now, I think really what makes this show are the characters. Now, of course, most animated shows feature very unique, very funny characters, but Archer, the whole show relies upon the characters, their quirks, their strengths and weaknesses, and how they interact in the most farcical, over-the-top ways imaginable. And really, like the description of the show says, they are just trying to royally screw each other in every situation, and that's what makes this show so great, especially for people with a very dry, sarcastic sense of humor, like myself. This show is very adult, so I would not recommend this for young kids, but if you can handle very adult content, it is absolutely amazing, and I would highly recommend it to anyone. Coming in at number 4 is Avatar: The Last Airbender. Now, I know this show is not technically considered anime because it's made in America, but it's definitely the closest I've come to getting into anime, because I'm really not a fan of anime at all. I find it repulsive most of the time. While not Japanese, the animation style shares many similarities with Japanese animation, with its use of color and exaggerated facial expressions. The story itself is extremely engaging as it combines an overarching serious plot with quirky characters and lighthearted humor. This show also exceeds in the way that it portrays certain elements of Eastern philosophy and culture. While the world and its laws are entirely fictional, there always seems to be a lesson that one can take out of every episode and apply it to their own lives. And this is why I honestly love this show. Coming in at number 3, bronze medal goes to Batman the Animated Series. This show is absolutely amazing. The thing that I find the most intriguing about this show right off the bat, no pun intended, is its animation style. It has a very distinct, very dark, very gritty animation style that sets it apart from brighter, bubbly shows. This show relies on the use of light and the absence of light to create shadows and, different effects, silhouettes, and, I feel like I'm rambling here, but the animation is absolutely amazing, so I definitely recommend checking it out, if anything, for that. But the show itself, is generally they're self-contained episodes. There's not a huge overarching plot, but it really is great for comic book fans and non-comic book fans alike. I'm not a huge comic book fan, but it really helped me get into the backstories of characters that we don't get to see in the movies, right? All these villains that are from the comic books, these are the real things for the real nerds to get into, and it's absolutely a ton of fun. The episodes themselves are evocative of neo-noir crime films such as The Big Sleep or The Maltese Falcon, Chinatown. That right there makes me absolutely love this show, not to mention its elements of dreams and alternate realities in movies such as Inception, The Matrix, The Terminator. All these things combined into one show. It's absolutely perfect for people that love these kind of movies and want to see that in a superhero genre that is very well written. The voice acting is incredible. You know, I think Batman in this show is Batman at its finest. I absolutely love The Dark Knight, but I don't buy that whole Batman with the very gravelly voice, "I'm Batman." I don't buy that. The Batman in the animated series has a deep, mysterious, menacing voice, but it's not like weird and gravelly like it is in the movie. So I really find this to be the most authentic Batman experience, if you will, and it's why I absolutely love this show. So just go check it out. Coming in at number 2 is Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Now, I won't go into much detail about this pick. It's probably pretty obvious to anyone that watches my channel. In fact, I'd recommend that you go check out my video on why the Clone Wars needs to come back for a full, complete explanation on why I love it. Now, while I love Star Wars: The Clone Wars micro series for its amazing comic book action, and appreciate how Star Wars Rebels is coming along, even though I don't think it's the best, this show is by far the best and my favorite Star Wars series of all time. So definitely go check out my other video if you want a full explanation why I love it. Coming in at number 1, my favorite animated TV show of all time, and that is South Park. What can I say about South Park? It's iconic. It's hilarious. There's not any show on this list, even Rick and Morty and Archer, which I laugh incredibly hard at. There's no show on this list that I laugh harder at than South Park. A lot of people seem to overlook this show because of its very vulgar style of humor, and they think all it is just Cartman, saying, "Screw you, Kyle, you Jew," and swearing and fart jokes and stuff, which it definitely has all of that to the nth degree. But it's a lot more than this. It's a lot more than that. This show actually has a positive message, which is really weird, because most people don't know that this show contains real-world messages that can actually be applied to life. And I know it's kind of weird I'm taking this show seriously, because probably shouldn't take it too seriously, but it makes fun of absolutely everything. No one is off limits here, Any race, religion, culture, lifestyle, they're getting trashed in this show. And it's why a lot of people hate this show. It's why a lot of people love this show, because it's incredibly offensive. And that's what I love about it. It doesn't care if it's offending people. I mean, it drew the picture of Muhammad in one of its episodes, and I think, certain Muslim terrorists threatened to blow up South Park Studios or whatever. Absolutely amazing. It's making fun of Caitlyn Jenner. It's making fun of social justice warriors. It will make fun of Jews, Christians, Mormons, any religion. Nothing is off limits in this show, and it melded together in such a relatable way that I'm like, oh my gosh, this is real life. I just saw this guy on the streets of Seattle, and there he is in a South Park episode. This is awesome. This show, I'm going to end up starting to ramble about this show, so I'm just going to cut it short with South Park is the funniest, the wittiest, best freaking show ever. just go check it out. If you can handle offensive material, you'll absolutely love it, and you'll thank me for recommending this show if you've not already seen it. If you've already seen it, you know what I'm talking about. It has insane over-the-top humor that's just absolutely out of control, and it uses that humor to make us laugh and to actually get us to think of a somewhat applicable real-world message. So what do you think? What are your top 10 favorite cartoons or animated shows of all time? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Of course, this list is completely subjective, like all my lists. Really just my opinion here. I absolutely love these shows. I'd recommend them to anyone. So just tell me what you think about it in the comments below. Get down there and comment. What are your top 10? Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Until next time, signing off.